What's up everybody, it's your boy Skipx here, and what we are going to be doing today is breaking down the trailer, which is going to probably be the last one that we get for Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind, seeing as the release date was revealed for it coming out in January for PS4 users and then in February for Xbox One players. But with that being said, there was so much content packed into this trailer that I felt like I had to talk about it, and I think I haven't done one of these in over a year, so it's about time that I did another one.
But if we still remember him, then he must still be with us.
But we've been searching everywhere for Sora, and we haven't found a single clue.
So getting into the first scene. So there are two really big things in this scene. Obviously, number one, the Final Fantasy characters are back. I did make a whole video talking about I was kind of indifferent to them coming back, whether they stayed gone and they never got a proper send-off, or if they did come back and then got a proper one, or if they just never appeared again, mainly because as of right now in Kingdom Hearts 3, they weren't really necessary to the story, but it would have been nice to see them. And I guess this is a little bit of fan service to those people who really wanted to see those versions of the Final Fantasy characters once again. Due to Riku's statement saying that we've been looking everywhere for Sora but we haven't found a trace of him, leads me to believe that this cutscene takes place after the main story of Kingdom Hearts 3. So it looks like ReMind is not only going to be exploring events that happened during the game that we just never got to see, but we are also going to be going past the actual ending of the original game and maybe get a big red arrow pointing us in the direction of where the next game is going to be going specifically. Now in this next scene, we see Sora at Ventus's dive to the heart, and then he is swallowed up by a portal of darkness and then placed in front of a new version of the Dark Inferno, who was KH3's secret boss, and he looks like he has gotten even more powerful, and he's probably going to be an even harder fight than he was before, because a lot of people's complaints, including my own, felt that the Dark Inferno was way too easy for Kingdom Hearts standards when it comes to secret bosses, like the Unknown from Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix and then the Lingering Well from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Just when you put him up against those guys, and even Sephiroth from KH1 and 2, he just really wasn't that hard, so hopefully he'll be a decent challenge in this new DLC with his upgraded form. I don't really feel like these two scenes have anything to do with each other, to be quite honest. I feel like Kingdom Hearts is using a bit of trickery here, where they're using one half of one scene and then cutting it with another half from a completely different scene. I don't feel like these two scenes with Ventus's dive to the heart and the Dark Inferno have any actual correlation, but I do believe that Sora going into people's different dive to the hearts is going to allow him to see their perspective of the story, and which is going to let us play as them during these specific moments.
So, this is the fear and despair that Aqua feels.
And jumping into this next scene, it just kind of reiterates what I said. I think Sora is going to be using the power of waking to jump into different people's dive to the hearts, and he's going to be seeing their perspectives of the story. And in this case, we are seeing what Aqua saw when we saw that massive army of Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 3, and what she saw specifically. And this just really represents how much mental anguish and how much damage has been done to her mind from being in the realm of darkness for so long. And
seeing that you have also taken the forbidden path, you too must be ready to make the ultimate sacrifice.
And in this next scene, it seems that Sora is going to be confronting Terranort when he says that you have also chosen the forbidden path, alluding to the fact that Master Xehanort knows how to use the power of waking as well, and he says that you must be ready to make the ultimate sacrifice. What that exactly means, that we don't know. It obviously isn't death, because we've seen the secret ending and we know that Sora is in a new place that we've never seen him before, so we have to assume that that is after the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, and he's going to be somewhat fine. But what exactly this price is going to be, it's left up in the air. He's probably just talking about what is exactly going to happen to him once he overuses the power of waking, and we'll find that out as the DLC continues. for as cool as this looks, you guys, I don't think that this is going to be as amazing as a lot of people think it's going to be. As you can see in the bottom right corner, there is no definitive health bar, meaning that there is no real stakes in getting hit right now, except for maybe like if you get hit 3 or 4 times, the mini game ends. But this is probably going to be a more on rails segment where everybody teams up to deal with the last bit of the 13 darknesses and get them out of the way so they don't interfere in Master Xehanort's and Sora's battle, because we have to assume that that is the case because we don't see Donald and Goofy in this team up. And if you look at the top right corner, you can obviously Kingdom Hearts in its purple state, which happened near the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 right before Sora chased after Master Xehanort to fight him in Scholar de Kyle. And while it isn't the most exciting thing as I just said, it is going to be a pretty cool moment regardless of that fact, and I can't wait to see the events that lead up to them actually fighting like this together.
If this box is truly as important as you say, why now?
And now we are getting more into the conversation between Xigbar and Luxlord that we have seen in the first ReMind trailer, where it seems like Luxlord is going to be having a much more prominent role in the Kingdom Hearts series going forward. And now he's getting straight to the issue of asking Xigbar, if the black box is so important, why only now is he deciding to look for it? There must be some reason for that, because we know that Xigbar hasn't had the box because he's obviously looking for it. And at some point during Kingdom Hearts 3, he finds the box and he has it in the Keyblade graveyard where he calls the foretellers back from wherever they have been from. So maybe we'll get some explanation as to why the box is so important, but we won't get a direct answer as to what it is. And maybe we'll even see where the box was found at within this DLC, seeing as we're going around many different places and seeing the story from so many different perspectives.
Hey, I thought you'd be gone by now.
You're the organization.
And now Demyx, somebody that we didn't see appear at the Keyblade graveyard at the end of the game, now is appearing before Riku, and this takes place right after the battle with Riku and Sora teaming up to face Xigbar and Riku replica from the past. As you can see, that's indicated by the doll still being on the ground right there. And this could be how Demyx ends up getting the doll and bringing it to Ienzo, because as we know, by the end of the game, Roxas already had a new body, and it was due to people that Xemnas knew, aka probably Demyx, bringing Ienzo that body earlier on into the game. And this body right here that we have down here is probably how Naminé gets her body back as well, and probably Demyx is going to be bringing it back. And now this small clip right here doesn't need too much explanation. We obviously are seeing the brand new moves for each of the new bosses that are going to be expanded upon within Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind. As confirmed by Tetsuya Nomura earlier this year, he did say that we were going to be able to face each of the 13 darknesses individually due to the limit cut battles, as he called them, or we could just call them datas for lack of a better term. And if you are going to be facing these bosses individually, every single one of them needs to have their moveset expanded to make them somewhat difficult, because one of the big gripes about Kingdom Hearts 3 is that we just didn't really get to see a lot of the final bosses' full repertoire of moves because they were so condensed together, with you fighting 3 bosses here, 2 bosses here, 1 occasionally, but a lot of the final battles were group fights. So that is good to see that they're expanding on all of the movesets, which was going to be necessary to make these boss battles even somewhat challenging, because if you didn't, they were just going to be cakewalks, to be honest.
Everyone always told me to just follow my heart. But follow my heart. Hearts are all connected. Trace the...
So at this point, I think it's all but certain that Sora is going to be diving into other people's hearts, and that is how the main story of the Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind DLC is going to play out. And that is how he's going to be looking for Kairi, because as you hear him say in the background, that hearts are all connected and he has to follow his heart. And guess what? His heart is with his friends, and by using his friends, he could probably find some way to get Kairi back in some shape or way.
Connection.
It's so pretty.
Now this is very interesting right here. We see Kairi fighting Xehanort, which is perfectly fine and that's cool as well. And that's just amazing that we're getting the playable Kairi finally. I know a lot of people have wanted this and she's beating the crap out of him. But the very interesting thing about this is that Sora is over there as a party member, which isn't the weirdest thing, but if we're assuming that this takes place after the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, why is Xehanort still around? Shouldn't he be in the afterlife at this point? Like, there is literally no reason for Xehanort to be fighting them at this point because he should be gone. And I know a lot of people are probably saying, well, this probably is where Kairi was killed at and now she's facing Xehanort in the final world while Sora was facing him in the real world. That's fine and dandy, but then you have to explain, why is Sora a party member? So at this point, this has to take place either after the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, or either Sora being a party member is more of her thinking of his presence being there and him not actually being there. You know, Kingdom Hearts logic, all of that stuff, Hearts, my friend, all of that good jazz. So I don't really know where to place this scene, but at the end of the day, it is very cool that we're getting to see playable Kairi and that she's going to be pretty daggone awesome, because that looks like a very cool limit that she's doing right there. Okay, see, now it is confirmed that we're going to be exploring more of Skylar at Kylam. This is something that a lot of people wanted in the base game, and now we are getting it. It's probably going to be a similar thing as to the Cavern of Remembrance for Kingdom Hearts 2, where it's probably going to be somewhat of a test of your platforming skill and your skills in general with the game, and really testing you to your limit to see if you actually know what you're doing. And when you get to the absolute end of Skylar at Kylam within the world, that is probably where you'll be able to access the boss battles to the 13 Darknesses.
Roxas, shield! Get what's ours!
So it took me a minute to kind of figure out what this scene was, but I have somewhat of an idea about it. So at first I thought that this scene was Roxas, Xion, and Lee gaining their actual hearts, because as we know, Xion is a puppet and Roxas is a nobody. But then when I got to Lee, I remembered that he is a recompleted human and Lee already has his heart back. And after that I was stumped for a couple of minutes, but then I thought about this possibly being them officially becoming part of the Seven Lights, because at this point Kairi has been kidnapped by Xemnas and Sora is getting ready to face Xemnas, Ansem, and young Xehanort. So in order for the actual prophecy to come true of the 7 lights versus the 13 darknesses, they would have to replace some of their lights. And if you count up Mickey plus the Birth by Sleep trio and then add on the Sunset trio, you have 7 lights in order to face the 13 darknesses, which we actually saw earlier on in the trailer.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, but don't worry. I'm not alone this time.
Next, we get a small moment between Riku and Aqua, and he asks her is she okay with this, and she says she's alright because she's not alone this time. The only possible thing that I could think of is that this is another scene that takes place after the main story of Kingdom Hearts 3, where Riku and the others are looking for Sora, and I'm assuming that Riku and Aqua are going to be going into the realm of darkness to see if Sora and or Kairi have somehow washed up there, because as we've seen before, in many cases within the Kingdom Hearts series, it doesn't take a lot for somebody to fall into the realm of darkness accidentally.
You yourself will vanish from this world, and without your powers, you can't return to the world you came from.
Number one, can I just say that the final world looks amazing in the nighttime? It just looks beautiful. But moving on from there, this is obviously Chirfy most likely talking to Sora, explaining to him that he'll vanish from this world, most likely referring to the final world, because we know that's where Chirfy is. He's not in the realm of light, he's in the final world as of this time right now. And wherever he ends up going to, he's going to be stuck there because he is also going to lose his power, so he won't be able to travel back to the realm of light where he originally was and where all of his friends are at. And this is probably just going to be a concrete definition of what happens when you overuse the power of waking. Plain and simple.
I've been
having these weird thoughts lately.
Like, is any of this for real or not?
And now with the end of this trailer, Sora encounters Yorza, a character that was made as a parody of Noctis, and then as we find out, in Kingdom Hearts 3's secret ending that he is more than just a parody character, he is actually a real character within the Kingdom Hearts universe. But even more so than that, it seems that Yorza has somehow used the power of waking and is in the exact same place as Sora is. And last but not least, this is a big callback to Kingdom Hearts 1, which I will be playing right now.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
So I don't know if we're going to be dealing with not only alternate timelines and maybe alternate dimensions, but we might be dealing with alternate versions of characters. And wouldn't it just be crazy if Yorza was maybe somehow an alternate version of Sora somehow? Like, that's the only possible reason that I could imagine that Yorza would be saying the exact same thing as Sora would be. Like, there has to be some deep connection there for them to be saying the exact same thing. And last but not least, before anybody says, how do I know that this is not Riku and that's Yorza? If you just look at him for a second, you can tell that that's not Riku. And two, on top of that, the entire color palette of the outfit is completely different than Riku's. You can obviously tell it's not him. But with that being said, you guys, that is my breakdown of the Kingdom Hearts ReMind trailer. There was a lot of interesting things in here. I can't wait to get it. Soon as it is available for pre-order, I'm going to be pre-ordering it because I have my money ready. I'll see you on the next one. If you made it to the end, please leave a like on it. And I'm going to leave you guys with a question. Out of all of the things that you've seen in this trailer, what are you most excited for? Is it the brand new cutscenes? Is it the boss battles? Is it Yorza? Is it the character specifically? Let me know down below, but I will see you all in the next one.